This meeting is being recorded.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Kubernetes 1.25 release meeting. We are at week 10 now, and this is the first Monday burn-down meeting on 25th July of 2022. And this meeting, as usual, is under the things have code of conduct, which could be boiled down to just please be nice and respectful for each other. And we finally reached to week 10, and happy Mondays, everyone. Let's see if we have any major updates. First, let's go to the open discussion section. And I guess I'm the only one who have a topic here. I'm here just to provide a quick update on the Golang 1.19, which I promised last week. And from last week, we didn't actually know about the detailed release date yet, but after our meeting on last week, the Golang side released an announcement saying they are targeting first week of August, which is next week, for their Go 1.19 GA release. And we have a tracking issue from Kiki side as well, which I linked below. Please feel free to take a look. So basically, we already done all the work on the Go 1.19 RC2 release, and we're just waiting for the final G release to be cut. That's it. So hopefully it would catch the current release. If not, it's okay to move to the next release, which is I don't think that will happen if no major issue comes up. Yeah, that's the Golang updates. And any questions for that?
No, I guess just one comment. So this is similar to what we had in 124. Golang 118.0 was released pretty a few right before the actual first initial targeted release date for Kubernetes 124, but there were some issues with it. But for this one, so we had to wait for 118.1, and then so the 124 release was delayed a few weeks. With Golang 119, it looks like we're going to have at least one RC out that's going to test out, maybe two RCs. So that's great. So hopefully, fingers crossed that we won't have a similar issue with the Golang 118.
Yeah, thanks for the comments. Yes, we do have issues last release with Golang 1.18, and we now have tested for like two RC releases from Golang 1.19, as we just mentioned. And even if we caught some major bugs from Golang side, I don't think we will postpone our current release this time. We might just revert back to Go 1.18, which is also acceptable by architecture side. So we'll see, but hopefully the two RC release will protect us from running into major issues. Thanks. And let's go to the update session. Enhancement. Atharva?
Hello,
Hi.
Atharva here. We just have one update that we are still reaching out for the to the KEP authors regarding the code freeze, and our current status is yellow. There's also one more that we are going through the GitHub beta projects, the sheet. So we are trying out stuff. We are just experimenting. Yeah.
So just to be clear, the yellow status is only for the GitHub beta projects, not for the enhancement themselves, right?
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Cool. Thanks for working on the beta projects. And let's move to CI signal. Arsh, if you're here.
Hello, hey folks. Our current status is green because we have like no failing jobs on master blocking. We have two failing on master informing, one of which we have an issue created and it has been triaged, so folks are working on it. The other one has, we haven't created an issue for it, but we'll do so if its status does not change in a couple of days. The other thing I wanted to ask was that a lot of my shadows, I think only me and one other shadow on my team is available to like attend meetings. So between the two of us, like especially since both of us are in the Indian time zone, the meetings, is it fine if like we provide our updates on the doc? Because like attending all the meetings would be tough between just the two of us.
Oh, sure. That's sure would be fine just to update from the doc. But we do like expect, if possible, when the go and non-go day, if like one of you could attend that, that will be awesome. Like before, like we cut up like the RC release
No.
and the formal releases.
Yeah, totally. I'll try to in as many as possible. I just wanted to let the team know that, yeah, that's the case. Thank you so much.
Sure, thank you for bringing it up. And we do also have like the Slack thread for go and non-go. So if you could provide there, that will also be working. Thank you. And let's move to bug triage. Hossein, if you're here.
Yes. At the moment we are green after resolving that plugin issue with the Kubernetes publishing boats. So that's resolved, and yeah, we are green again. So beside that, we are reaching out all the issues and PRs regarding code freeze coming soon, and we are just letting them know that yeah, if they are still aligning with the 125 milestone. That's all from bug triage.
Yep. Thank you so much. Let's move to docs. Please, if you're here.
Hey, sorry about that. Docs team is green. I think Juanita looks good to me on last week's branch sync PR. We're just following up with enhancement holders, owners for placeholder PRs. And then we did have a question for caps that are at risk. Do we still kind of follow up with enhancement owners to get placeholder PRs open? And then if their cap if their enhancement's removed, do we just close out that PR? Should we still be better safe than sorry there? I don't know what the normal action is there.
Yeah, I would still be better safe. Yeah. Sorry, CC, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just want to clarify, like the caps, like as long as it's marked as tracked, I guess it's okay to go ahead and open the placeholder PR. For other status, I guess now it's safe to close their placeholder PR since they are not targeting for this release. Like if anyone has any other questions, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I guess we can safely close them. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. That's it for docs.
If there's no further question for docs, let's move to release notes. If Carlos here. If no, I guess we just move to the next session, and we'll use the Wednesday's meeting to catch up with release notes team. Is there any shadows from release notes want to provide an update before we move on? Cool, then let's move on to comms.
Yes, thank you. So this is Fred from comms Shadow. The current status is green. We've been actively tracking all the different feature blocks and mapping the caps into the correspondent push requests. We have been doing so on an individual basis to really get the answers out. We have a couple of SIGs, which we are still trying to get some feedback from. And we are currently sending out the final reminders to all SIGs ahead of the feature block freeze. So everything is as planned.
Thank you so much for the update. Any questions for comms?
Yeah, so next week is also code freeze, which I'll talk about a little bit as well. But in the last few releases, we also published a deprecation and removals blog around the same week as code freeze as well. So that's something just to start to think about. I know Kat already started to raise those questions about the deprecation and removals blog. So that's just something to start this week and continue to next week.
And we do have a draft for that. So
yes, that's great.
Yeah. I just want to mention that I guess Kat also mentioned like a couple updates back. They are planning like a mid-cycle blog post, and I guess it's in draft now. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for confirming. And let's move to if there's no question, let's move to release branch management. Veronica, if you're here.
Veronica's not here, but I'm here. And just
thank you.
So We are yellow. We always kind of keep ourselves in a tentative state with releases. No more alphas are planned our end. There's some discussions around the next upcoming release, which is scheduled for next week, right after the branch or the code freeze. And we may potentially add another release candidate in there, but outside of that, no other updates. Everything looks great.
Cool, thank you for the updates. I guess like scheduled next week, it will be the beta cut, right?
Yes, yes.
Cool, thanks for confirming. And let's move to our EA, Ray.
Hey folks, so we're coming into the last 4 weeks of the release, which will go really fast. And actually a lot of work will be done in this last 4 weeks. We kind of had like a little, a little slow spell when the features were being worked on code-wise. So next week is code freeze. And so that is a big milestone for the release. Along with code freeze, as Joseph mentioned, is also the beta cut as well. Also, there's a docs placeholder PR deadline as well next week, and deprecation removal blog posts that will be around next week as well. So next week we're going to have several major things coming up, starting especially in the last 4 weeks of the release. It's going to go really fast, and it's going to be a lot of work. And on the release team side, my opinion is always like the most work is in the last part of the release, last 4 weeks of the release. In 2 weeks, it's going to be test freeze. That's when the release branch for 125 is cut. Then the release candidates with the first release candidates also cut as well. We also start the final phase of the release notes. We start to build the major themes and start doing the draft of the final release blog as well. So the last 4 weeks, it's gonna be pretty intense in terms of the release team wise as well. All right. Other than that, the next week's also the first release retro as well. So that's on Wednesday. That's at 10 a.m. Pacific. And we started doing the release retro in the middle of the cycle in 123, so that we could course correct if we can, or we could also catch up on some action items from the last release retro as well. I'm going to send out mid-cycle surveys for Shadows this week. Need to get those approved. And also, one final thing for me is to, since the last 4 weeks, we need to start thinking about succession. So we have role leads to fill for 126. If you're highly, so this message is for both role leads, for Shadows, for role leads, start thinking about succession. For Shadows, if you're considering about, might want to reach out to the role lead as well, and I'll send out some more communications about this. So we're going to start building the 126 team since we're in the last 4 weeks of the 125 release cycle. So I'd open up for any questions for me.
Hey, Ray,
Ray, so should we, sorry, just
go ahead.
ahead.
I'll go after you.
I wanted to ask that, should we reach out to Shadows to ask if they're interested? Like
yeah, I'll send some
or,
comms out. I'll reach out to the role leads about this. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Just about the retro, Ray, I think this is more of like an action item between you and myself. I don't think we had a chance to go over the action items, and I'm sure you're probably prepping. Just reach out. I think Jeremy as well mentioned this previously, but make sure we have follow-up so that we can make the retro go faster.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna start reaching out today for all the action items.
Cool. It was on my list. Thanks.
Cool. Any more questions for Ray? If no, we'll move to the next session for me. And thank you so much for Ray to list up all the remaining works for the following 4 weeks. And that's the reason why we added more meetings. I'm sorry. So we started the Monday burn-up meetings today, and we will have the daily burn-up meetings starting next week. And our retrospective meeting, as Ray mentioned, is scheduled on Wednesday this week. So please feel free to add any items if you want to discuss about, and yeah, plan your time around. And of course, the major thing for this week is the code freeze coming early next week. And I have already sent out a reminder email last week, and I'll try to send another one or two at least for this week. And hopefully people are aware of that and plan their work around. Yeah, and also the last thing is the Golang updates I already mentioned earlier. And any questions? If no, let's see, SIG scalability seems they are working fine, don't have updates today. And for the wall project board, we didn't use it much. I see it's updated 12 days ago, so I guess nothing mentioned for, especially for current release. And I guess I'll just give everyone half an hour back. Any questions before we end the recording? I'll take it as a no, and I'll try to